Hey, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, and today I want to talk about Monster Hunter Riders. Some of you guys may have seen the trailer for this already, some of you guys may have caught the news earlier this week, and some of you guys may have no idea what I'm talking about. This is a brand new Monster Hunter game. Now, before I go any further, to temper expectations, we are talking about a mobile game, alright? But I want to talk about it because it looks, visually at least, fantastic. There are some things that we'll be speaking about in this video, but I want to talk about it, and the news did drop earlier this week. However, I was away at an event in Poland, and I was basically getting on a flight when the news dropped. So alas, I didn't get a chance to cover it the day it dropped like I normally would, but we're still going to talk about it today because I really like the look of this trailer, and even if the game doesn't transpire to be what I hope it will be, or doesn't even end up being a great game, it's still something I want to talk about because, I mean, I kind of like Monster Hunter, alright? In case you hadn't guessed. I think a few thousand videos may suggest that I like this game. Anyway, jokes aside, yeah, Monster Hunter Riders was announced earlier this week, and it is a mobile gacha game. Now, the very first thing you'll see, before you even know that, when you just watch the trailer, you'll be like, hold on a minute. Is this Stories 2? No, sadly it's not. It is not Stories 2. Despite the fact that it has stories-like visuals, is using assets from Stories, it is not the sequel that I hope for. I mean, look, Capcom, right? If you're not going to give me a Stories sequel, at least put it on Nintendo Switch. I will be happy with that for the time being. I know I can play it on 3DS, I know I can play it on iPhone, I want to play it on Switch. Or better yet, give me Stories 2. Maybe they'll do it eventually, but for the time being, this grabbed me because, of course, visually speaking, Stories was fantastic, right? If you guys haven't played Monster Hunter Stories, then I highly recommend you do so. Awesome game, great visual style, and just a really charming game. Like, if you like Pokemon and you like Monster Hunter, what is not to like? But Monster Hunter Riders obviously has that sort of visual flair to it. You see a lot of cool characters in this video. You see them fighting alongside the monsters, or the monsties if they're using the kind of Stories terminology. And I'll be honest, I'm a little bit biased because my boy Arekkz is in this video, is in this game, right? He has not been given the I don't even know, he's not been ousted like he has in World. So this is already cool. And also, just to digress for a moment, but look at this armor. Arekkz armor has always been one of my favorite armor sets, and they just put a cape on the back of it. I mean, could you get any better than that? The answer, by the way, is no, you can't possibly get any better than that. This is literally peak performance. This is the best thing you could possibly have ever. I mean, you might as well just stop while you're ahead now. Anyway, again, I'm getting a little bit carried away here, but primarily this is for iOS and Android devices. It is a mobile gacha game. You guys may have heard about Monster Hunter Explore, which was the sort of previous mobile game. Had a decent enough following. There were some cool aspects to it, but obviously it was also heavily grindy, heavily monetized, all that kind of stuff like that. And there is a chance the same thing may happen to this one. At this stage, we don't have a great deal of information about the game. We got a little sort of synopsis for it, which we'll go over in just a moment. But it is basically what you sort of see from some of this gameplay. In fact, they actually, the trailer doesn't really show you too much gameplay, but they have been sharing some gameplay snippets on the Twitter account, which I'll be showing in the background, so you can at least get a feel for sort of how the monster combat will play. There'll be parts where you can play as the hunters, or you can fight as the hunters, and there'll be parts where, of course, the monsters do the attacks themselves. Can I also just take a moment to say, why are they picking on Laggy? Why is every single video that they've showcased a monster attacking Arekkz? Like, Capcom, are you trying to troll me here? However, putting that to one side, to quote the official blog post and whatnot, the story synopsis for this is that a great calamity once attacked the land. 10 Dragon Rider Knights, which are later called the 10 Great Dragon Knights, they saved the land from the great calamity. A new connection was then formed between humans and monsters, and several hundred years passed. But the continent of Felgia, where humans and monsters live in union, is once again about to be engulfed by a dark malice. Now, about the game itself, it says the story is set in the continent of Felgia, where humans and monsters live in union. You can gather, raise, and combine familiar monsters from the Monster Hunter series with a unique ensemble of riders to form your own party and take on quests. And all the different characters in this, they look very, very cool, right? I mean, there's even Ivory Arekkz as well, which is actually my favorite. I know Abyssal is kind of the typical one people gravitate towards, but I really like Ivory. Something about it. They say that the combat uses a refreshing command battle system with flashy skills that you can play smoothly, and obviously that's the thing. It's not going to be hugely complex. You're not going to have Monster Hunter level complexity to the combat. It is going to be something you can play on your phone and you can tap a button, so don't expect anything that difficult or that kind of in depth, but at the same time, having sort of flashy moves and things look cool. I mean, even in stories, right? You know, stories wasn't necessarily that difficult or anything like that, but some of the ultimate moves when you sort of pulled off those monster specials looked incredible. It says the game combines smooth progression with refreshing command battles that employ flashy skills. Near infinite party customization is possible through the combination of various components and monsters and riders. And you have Rathalos, Zenogre, Nagakuga, Glavenus, and other popular monsters from the Monster Hunter series will appear one after another. More monsters will be added through future updates. As the leader of the Riders Guild special agency known as the Dispatch Observation Party, you will command both monsters and riders and solve the mystery of the Dark Riders undermining peace in Felgia. So that is basically the synopsis. So it's going to be a sort of gacha style game. There'll of course be monsters that you can unlock, monsters that you can earn, riders that you can earn. There'll of course be, you know, gear elements to it and things like that. So, you know, there's still a lot of stuff we have yet to know. Apparently the actual release window for this is the end of February, around the 29th of February. Admittedly, right now it is just for Japan. I don't even know whether this is the sort of game that would come to the West. I would still love to play it, and I still intend to try and download the Japanese version and play it anyway. So once it is out, I can at least try and give you guys some videos and work out if it's worth at least taking the effort to try and download it. But either way, I'm still interested. It may turn out to be a horrendous cash grab of a game with stories assets that just makes us cry and want even more stories, or maybe we're just being a little bit sort of too dramatic, and it could end up just coming out and being sort of a fun little sort of gacha game with, you know, a few little elements in there, maybe something like Dragalia Lost, where you can still have some fun with it, even if you don't necessarily, you know, invest too much into it. So I'm hoping it's definitely the latter, or just, you know, something to kind of play on the go. If this is a means for them to give us something to play in between, say, now and whatever they're working on next for, say, Switch, that would be really cool, because yeah, more Monster Hunter stories, more things in the story's visual style is definitely not going to be a bad thing. Anyway, that's it for the time being. That is a quick update on what we know so far about Monster Hunter Riders. As and when we find out more, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date, as we always do, on anything and everything Monster Hunter related. If you guys do like what you see, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you hope to see in Riders. Let me know what monsters you hope to see show up, things like that. And of course, keep it locked for plenty more. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget, you can check out 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.